Hi everyone, it's Liam here from Rating the Races. So in this video we're going to have a look at the Chasers new handicap marks that caught my eye, and there's only 3 this week. Starting off with Petit Tonnerre, who dropped £1 to 136 after somewhat disappointing up at Musselburgh in a 2.5 mile handicap chase. So this was his first attempt in a handicap, and this could be what they use as why he disappointed. You know, it was his first run in a handicap. He'll get used to it. He'll bounce back. He went off 3-1 favourite. I don't want to give up on him at all. I do believe there is a handicap in him. I do believe it's over 2.5 mile. And yeah, maybe he just disappointed at Musselburgh. Maybe it wasn't his track, or maybe he wasn't totally going for it. Maybe they were trying to still learn a little bit about him with the Cheltenham Festival in mind. Obviously, his second earlier on in the season on good to soft ground at Cheltenham does look good. And that was when he was given a very patient ride and clearly being aimed at a handicap. And yeah, you know, the Cheltenham race is going to be worth more than the Musselburgh race. Maybe they wanted to see what he was like, and they were more than happy with him. I don't want to give up on him. I think he's got some decent form over hurdles, and I think he'll be much better when maybe he returns back down south and potentially goes to Cheltenham. The second horse I want to talk about is Petit Tonnerre is still available for the plate, and you can see that a couple of them have actually shortened him just because he's dropped £1 in the handicap. The second horse I want to talk about is Ferodo Bamboo. Now, for me, this horse needs 2 miles, 2 furlongs, which obviously makes things really difficult in the fact that there's not many races like that. There was the Howden Handicap at Ascot that he actually missed. He went to Cheltenham instead and finished 3rd back in December. Now, the only way, the place I think you can get 2.5 mile, if you don't actually stay 2.5 mile, is Kempton. And there is a race, therefore, that I think they should aim him at. Don't go to Cheltenham, because I don't think he will run well in the plate. I don't think he's going to be good enough. I think they're going to show that he's actually... when he comes up against 4 or 5 that are well handicapped, he finishes 6th, and that's for me is a waste of time. I would be running him in this race here, the Unibet new and improved Bet Builder handicap chase over 2.5 miles. It's a decent race. It's a decent prize money. It's the Saturday after the Cheltenham Festival, and to be honest, I think that would suit him perfectly. He would get the 2.5 at Kempton, and maybe, you know, it might even be a slightly easier race considering, you know, the main dangers would have probably been at Cheltenham in the plate. And yeah, I'd like to see Ferodo Bamboo go to Kempton. If he does go to Cheltenham, I won't be as keen on him at all, to be honest, over the 2.5 mile trip or over 2 mile. Yeah, I think Ferodo Bamboo may find a couple too good for him, and he either doesn't have the speed or he doesn't stay the trip. The other thing about Ferodo Bamboo, I definitely think he needs a break. You can see he ran twice in December, twice in January, again in February. He's had 5 runs since the 1st of December. I think that's slightly too many, and maybe that's why his form has tailed off the last couple of runs. And the final horse from the chase marks, yep, it's this guy, Mr. Coffee. Mr. Coffee dropped £3 to 138. Do you know that's actually just £1 higher than when he ran here in the Kim in 2022, and he was beaten by just the 1 in Chambard. I don't think he threw that race away. I think he was... I don't think he was given the best of rides by Sam Whaley-Cohen. Based on him getting now down to a mark of 138, he's not going to get in the Grand National, which is a shame, because a horse who finished 8th last year and actually traded, I think he traded about 5-1 in the run because he went for home and looked like he might have even stolen it at one point, is not going to get in the Grand National this year. That is a shame. I really hope we see them go all guns blazing, therefore, for the Kim Muir. You sit him in behind, you sit him 3rd or 4th, you allow him to travel into the race, and you take it up just at the last. You do go a length up at the last, and if he downs tools after the last, he downs tools after the last. Don't try and ask him to respond potentially after a bad mistake after the last, if he does make a mistake at the last. I hate seeing jockeys do that. You've got to be going a length or 2 up at the last. If you do make the mistake, at least you'll then level with those that are behind you. But I actually think Mr. Coffee would go very, very close in the Kim Muir. Is he available? Yeah, well, he is going to be in this betting. Where is he? Interesting to see Good Time Johnny so short in this, because he might not even get in. I mean, 25s, 40s for Mr. Coffee for a horse who finished second in it a couple of years ago off a £1 higher mark when going off the 5-1 favourite. 5-1 favourite? 5-1 joint favourite. I mean, to be honest, if you got 40s on the day, if you get 33s on the day, I think it's a great each way bet. I really do, and I don't like each way bets, but they are my 3 over fences. Petit Tonnerre, don't give up on him for the plate. I do think now he's had that experience in a handicap, he might run a bit better at Cheltenham. Maybe he still wasn't off. Ferodo Bamboo, I'd like to see him miss Cheltenham, go to Kempton. I do think they'll actually go to Cheltenham with him though. And Mr. Coffee has to go for that Kinmuir. I don't think he's the worst bet in the world, to be honest, at big prices, considering what he did in 2022 when finishing a decent second, when sent off the 5-1 favourite of just a £1 higher lower mark. So they are my 3 over fences.